You were talking about role playing earlier. I mean,
yes.
For me, the role-playing part of this business, the practice is what you do every day. You know, remember on the cruise we had those folks there that wrote that book, Go for No? Mm-hmm. That really resonated with me because I guess that's what I'm doing on a constant basis. I go out and I start conversations with people every day, and if they want to have a conversation with me, great. I'm going to take them into the recruiting process. If they don't, hey, that's great too, because all I'm interested in is finding new people every day. So I guess it's kind of that Go for No philosophy.
That's Randy Gage calling. It actually is.
That's pretty funny.
Do you want to try that role play?
Yes, I would love to do that because some people are with great teams, but some people are launching their country. Maybe they're in South Africa and are the top guy in their company, and they don't have that role-playing partner right there. And that's a part of the CD programs, is that you can get that information if you don't have it. So let's say that I'm an old lost friend. We went to school together, and we went to different schools together. And you're calling me up now to initiate that contact that maybe hasn't been there in 3-4 years.
Yeah, so if I'm calling you in that scenario, I'm going to start off by calling you up and say, hey, Orion, it's Ken. Do you remember me?
Oh yeah, I remember you. We went to school. When was that? That's many years ago. Why are you calling me?
You would remember him without him saying his last name?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Slam, busted.
And I'll say, yeah, it sure was a long time ago. It feels like 90 years ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, it actually does. Why are you calling me? Why do you remember me?
Hey, Orion, I was just thinking about you. You know, I was sitting here in the living room, and you know, I was watching the football game, and I remembered all of the football games we had. I know it was a long time ago, but you've been on my mind a lot lately. You got a couple minutes to talk?
Sure, yes.
See, right there, saying something like that, automatically, your thought process as a human being is, wow, this is a nice guy. I haven't really done anything to prove I'm a nice guy, except for saying I was thinking about you. So it's getting into your subconscious, into your ego already. So I'll say, as soon as you've said yes, I'll say, so what have you been up to lately?
Well, I've been finishing my education, and right now I'm just going to work every day. I'm working as a post officer.
How did you get into that?
Well, you know, there wasn't that many jobs in my town, so I really just started working in a post, and I really love this job. It's an exciting place, and we actually have a pretty lazy schedule, so it's really good because I'm an efficient person, so I get 1 or 2 extra hours of time when I'm done with handing out all the letters.
Oh, fantastic. What do you do at that time?
Oh, well, I get home, I have some fun, and get more time with my wife, and it's really, I really don't know what I do. I hang out with friends, I guess.
Are you telling me that somebody managed to hook down Orion Sally? Who's the lucky woman?
Oh, that's Hilda. She's just, we've been together now for 9 years, and that's been just the best thing happened to me ever.
I thought you would never get married. I mean, everybody in school was chasing you around. Man, what happened? How'd you guys meet?
Well, I guess I got really lucky. A friend of mine brought her to a meeting, and I was there, and he said he was in love with her, and I knew that he was not telling the truth at the moment, so I said, I'm in love with this girl. And then I was in that meeting, and she kept coming out, and I took that as a sign. She denies it to this day, though, that ever happened, but that's my belief, though. Man,
I can really hear it in your voice. You've really met your partner in life, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
So where do you like... Oh, there she's calling you right now. And then, you know, from there I'll chat for a bit more, and then I'll say something like this. I'll say, Orion, it was really great to get to talk to you again. Hey, what do you think about getting together for a coffee? I'd really like to keep building our friendship again. I should never have lost track of you before.
Cool, I'd love to do that.
Okay, so the way that he just did that role play reminded me of something. If I'm calling somebody in that scenario and it is a long lost friend that I haven't talked to in a long time, that's the only exception to my rule about only introducing the business on the telephone call that I initiate. I won't introduce the business on the first call, because it's really important for us to realize that I'm truly interested in building the friendship again. Now, I know somebody's going to say, well, he wants to get him into the business. He wouldn't have called him if he wasn't trying to get him into the business. They're absolutely right. But I know in my heart that if I'm going to get him into the business, a friendship is going to come back to life in that process. So why not start with the friendship?
Right, and that's actually a note that I wrote down. I said, well, so now, are you being fake, or are you truly looking to create friendships or reestablish friendships? And it's a combination of both. Not fake, but you do want to get them involved because you're so passionate about network marketing, about your company. Yeah. But if they don't, you've just reconnected and made a new friend. And
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And I think what you're doing is actually slow down to go faster.
Absolutely.
So you're just trying to see if I am in a position where I would have an interest. And I love the way you handle the conversation, because I grew up with telemarketing sales, so I really know how to do all the magic on the phone. And what you're doing is to get all the juice out of me that I could be wanting to talk to about for hours.
Right, right.
And I guess that 48 hours from now, I'm going to get a phone call back from you.
Well, here's what's going to happen next. Well, first of all, just to exemplify that point, you got to realize, if I ask anybody, what's the one thing, the most important thing that we all like to talk about in the world, regardless of race, color, or creed, it's going to be ourselves. It's going to be me. So I'm working on that. Why? Because I know it makes you feel good, and frankly, I like to hear about it. And then I'm going to quietly and softly introduce the business to you at the right time. So let's say right now you and I have just met for that coffee. You know, because that's what I suggest. And let's say we booked a time for that coffee, and then 2 days later we show up for that coffee meeting. Well, at that coffee meeting, I'm going to start to, we're ready to lend it off. So I'll start that conversation by asking, you know, what do you like about your relationship with your wife? We'll talk more about that, talk about some sport, some hobby. And in that whole coffee meeting, I still won't talk about the business very much, because I'm going to save that for the next time I call back after that. So you and I've rekindled the friendship on the phone. We've arranged to have a coffee. We get together. We build a relationship. I'll talk to you more. We'll really start to have fun together. Then I'll call you back 2 days later. And this is how this conversation goes.
And I really like what you're saying right there, because if you focus on a friendship, you actually have an interest in the people.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you talk about real stuff, you'll get to know these people, and we all are looking for more friends. So it doesn't just become a game of recruiting, it actually becomes a game of connecting.
ABC, always be connecting. It's the secret to the business. Let's say I call you back though, this is where it gets fun. So now in that interaction, we've rekindled the friendship, we've actually honed the friendship in that coffee meeting, then I'll call you back, and then this is where I use Michael's Law of Reciprocity. I love this training tape that he did on the prospecting toolbox. So I'll call you back and I'll say, hey Orion, how's it going today, buddy?
I just came home from work. Well, it was raining, but it's still a pretty good day.
How many letters did you deliver today?
I don't know. It probably was my usually 52 mailboxes and a couple of corporate offices.
Hey, did that dog at Mrs. Smith's house bite your ankle today?
Well, I have these new shoes, so I run really fast.
Well, that's good. Any day that dog doesn't bite you is a good day, I guess, right?
It is.
So right away, we've had conversations, and I'm showing him that I care about him, because I'm bringing that stuff up, getting him talking again. And then once I hear that pregnant pause, you know, that in the conversation I'm going to hear, well, that means Orion is feeling really good about the interaction, and that's where I'm going to use the law of reciprocity to bring up the business. And here's exactly what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, Orion, listen, I'm really happy that I thought about calling you, man. I'm excited about this, but I need your help with something.
Okay.
Hey, listen, I got involved in a business about 1.5 years ago, and it really has become my livelihood now. I'm really excited about it. And as we're getting to rekindle our friendship, man, I really think this is something you're going to be interested in.
Okay.
Can I have your opinion? Would you be willing to look at my company, my website, and I can get your opinion on it?
Will it take a lot of time?
No, it's 5 minutes, whenever you get a chance.
Okay, I still have plenty of time, though. I already told you that.
Well, you know, and there's a good point. You know, maybe we can stop right there, because average people will always try and handle that objection. You say, oh, will it take a lot of time? I don't even hear objections. I just keep going. I just keep building the friendship. Because in friendship, we're not always going to agree. We're going to have differing points on anything, but if the real goal is friendship, it doesn't matter. If you handle objections, you lose friends. Because an objection is somebody's opinion. Whether it's the same as yours or not, an objection really is just an opinion that you have that's different than the one I have. So if I try and handle your objection, what I'm really doing is contradicting your opinion. Now tell me anybody on the planet that enjoys having their opinions contradicted. So I stay away from it altogether. So even though you gave me that objection about time, I literally ignore it, just keep going, and I say, no, it'll just take a couple minutes. But I really value your opinion. May or may not be something you're interested in getting involved in, but man, oh man, everybody I'm working with reminds me of you.
Okay, how can I help you then?
Well, I just want you to take a look at the website, and who knows, if you like what you see, there's a way that you can get involved and help me to build this business.
And would you send that link to me on an email, or would you give it to me on the phone?
Well, it depends on you. Hey, if you're learning about something new, how do you like to learn about it? Do you
I like reading.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Well, here, let me get your email address, and also give me your physical mail address, and I'll send you off some stuff today so you can take a look at it.
I really like listening to things, though.
Well, in that case, then, I've got a great CD for you, and I've got a website that's got some audio recordings on it where you'll get a good understanding of what I do for a living. Let me get your email address. I'll send that off to you.
Can I see it?
Yeah, sure. I've got what our Orient's doing right now is we had this conversation one time where when I get to that point where somebody says yes, here's the next thing I always say to them. If you're learning about something new, do you like to watch it, hear it, or read it? Hey, if you've got some spare time, what do you do with it? Do you watch TV, read books, or listen to music? And whatever that person says is how I'm going to deliver the information on my company to them. It's right in line with the colors, the personalities that you talked about.
So now I get your email.
Yep.
And I watch the opportunity presentation or whatever you sent me, and I read through the different material.
Right.
And I'm just lost in space with this because I wasn't sure if I was going to call you back, or do most people call you back after that?
Nobody calls back.
So nobody calls back. So don't expect a call back on that material. Okay?